So in my last video talking about Kai Cenat's Streamer University, I showed you guys how majority of the people there already had a following and should have gave up their spot to someone who could have actually benefited from this experience. To be specific, because someone on Twitter was like, name them when I said this exact thing, but out of the 105 or so people that got accepted, only 25 of them had less than 25,000 followers. And not even that, if you added up each row's follower count, these 4 alone had more followers than every other row. And like I said, unless all these popular streamers spent the weekend hyping up these small streamers, no one is going to voluntarily watch a streamer with 100 followers stream something that a streamer with 1,000,000 followers is streaming. Yes, there were times when bigger streamers gifted the other streamers so many subs and they gave them a bunch of viewers. That's all good in the moment, but the second they leave this university, they are never, if at all, going to get that same treatment. And I want to be clear, I'm not talking shit about the idea. The idea was awesome. A streamer university, if he didn't have a streaming obligation and was at that point of his career to he was thinking about retiring and he can put 100% of his focus into this, he would have been able to do this more than just one weekend out of the whole year. But because he had a 2-day limit, by choice, what went down there was probably some of the dumbest shit I have ever seen. First of all, the list of classes I showed you were a complete lie. I thought I was going to get proven wrong and DDG was going to teach music production, seeing as that he's a rapper, but they made him teach starting beef 101, how to make beef, how to get into an argument with someone on the internet basically, which is ironic coming from the guy who's beefing with his ex over their kid and losing, mind you.
So I'm gonna teach y'all the arts of internet beef, how to win every beef. Y'all know I'm undefeated.
And of course, Cooking with Kaya was the culinary arts teacher, and then some girl named India Love was in charge of another class that I don't remember the name of, but I can guarantee you it was none of these, and it was some bullshit that was made up because these people aren't real professors. Like, remember when he announced this and said that Mr. Beast was going to teach a business class and Mark Robber was going to teach a science class? I saw Duke Dennis trying to fuck all the female students more than I saw anything productive go down. I guess that could be productive considering on what you find productive. But when something did productive go down, it was out of pity. Like this one girl whose name I can't remember got made fun of because of how she looks. So the whole rest of the time she was there, she was getting special treatment, getting one-on-one time with the professors. I guess everyone was doing that. And it's like, you should have just kicked out the people who were talking shit and been like, hey, we're not going to have any of this here. Because now this girl went from streaming Minecraft with Kai Cenat to never having that happen again. Whatever viewers she got from this university have a hard choice to make now. Continue watching a streamer who they felt bad for, or go back to watching a streamer who they've been watching and have no emotional obligation towards. Not saying she didn't gain some followers, but had she not been singled out, nobody would have been posting about her. Like I said, there were 25 people that had a chance to really benefit from this, and with how many big name streamers there were, I'd expect all of them to have significantly gained a following from this. But let's see how many of them actually had that happen. So here are all the people who had a collective following of less than 25,000 followers on all the platforms I can find an account of theirs on. And right away, I was already wrong with the first girl. You can see I put 16.6k because that's what she had on Twitch, not realizing that she also had a TikTok with more than 20k followers, which I'll say was like at 19, maybe 17k before she got invited. So she was already at that 25k mark, but if we don't take into account her TikTok, she did gain 4,000 followers on Twitch, which is good, but it's something that she could have done had she posted about it more. Like if you go to her TikTok, now she's posting about Streamer University, even getting a video with Duke Dennis. But before that, nothing. It was all workout stuff. So I guess this girl, Honey Jade, you could say benefited from this, but had I known her real follower account, we wouldn't be talking about it. Next we have I Lost Work, I think that's how you say it. And this guy got a beefy boost in his following. He went from having 2.7 thousand followers across Twitch and TikTok to having 38,000 across both. He gained over 35,000 followers. And I mean, just by his TikTok, I can tell you he's one of those people who's talking to everyone, make sure everyone remembered his name. Did it work? For 35,000 people it did. Next on the board is Sarah Lynn. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. I honestly thought this was Extra Emily for a second, but this is another person who I was wrong about. Apparently I didn't see her TikTok where she had 20k followers. She still would have been under the 25k mark though, which makes her rise from 1.9k to 24,000 followers that much more impressive. But does it really? Because just like that last girl, it was only until she got accepted into Streamer University did she start posting about her Twitch, because before that, Nothing! Next up is your girl Des, apparently having 2 TikTok accounts with around 4,000 followers each. But since I have her as only having 7,000 followers, that had to have been from her Twitch and TikTok. Regardless though, she started out with 7,000 followers, and after this whole event, she had a total of 8.8. She gained 1.8 thousand followers across both TikTok and Twitch after this. Now, just to save us some time, these are what all the rest of the people gained, and as you can see, I got some of these other people wrong. Like this guy Jamal, apparently is Speed's brother. Why does the brother of one of the most successful streamers in the world need to go to a streaming university where he's celebrating hitting 100k subscribers like he couldn't just do that on his own being who he is? He can literally do this any day he wants. Like, this is actually one of the spots that could have been given to someone who needs it, not a fucking nepo baby. And then some of the other people, for whatever reason, didn't show up when I first googled them, but now when I look them up, their other accounts are being shown where they have hundreds of thousands of followers. And you're probably like, well, how do you know they didn't gain that following from this streaming university? Well, because when you Google someone's Twitch account or whatever account, and they recently gained a bunch of followers, the original number will show up on the Google link until you actually click the link and see what it really is. And it does this for basically almost everyone you look up. And when you Google this guy Nizzy, his TikTok shows him having 137,000 followers, and when you click on the link, it shows him having 139,000. So he gained at most 2,000 followers over the past couple days, meaning that unless this guy was breaking records, gaining hundreds of thousands of followers in under 24 hours, he already had a platform to get people to watch his Twitch. But this is the kind of content he posts.
This list of the 12 smartest YouTubers is going viral. Let's take a look. And it's ranked through an AI analysis of all these YouTubers' podcast appearances. Has Moist Critical ever even been on a podcast?
But you can see some of these people's names who are in the red are still in the red. One having literally gained nothing from this. Like, she literally left Streamer University with under 1,000 followers. None of these other people gained less than 3,000. And it doesn't help that the person who gained the most out of everyone already had a huge following. According to this tweet, Toda MC has easily become the most successful person from Streamer University. Stats: 13k average viewers, 400 before the event, 48k peak viewers, 260k followers gained, 1 million hours watched. Twitch ranking, 214th channel in the world, 2,000 plus before the event. Now, if you don't know who this is, you're probably like, 260,000? Those are some big boy numbers. But then you look at his TikTok, and he already had over 500,000, over 200,000 on Twitch, and over 100k on Instagram. And even if we divided what he gained between his 3 accounts, that's just 86,000 per account, meaning that he already had, like I said, a huge following before this. Making that 400 viewer average pretty fucking pathetic. There's no way you can collectively have over 1 million followers on all your accounts and you can't even get 1% of them to watch your stream. Like I just said, there are people who left this place barely even getting noticed at all. Meanwhile, this guy's content is so ass it took him having the most popular streamer in the world giving him a handout for him to pull the numbers he could have been just by being his fucking self and posting on his account. Now, there were moments where someone was actually given something to help with their streaming career other than watching a popular streamer get into an argument with a student. But Agent 0, Agent, whatever it is, my bad, I don't watch your stream. You're pretty cool though. But he actually gave 3 streamers a sponsorship of $5,000 from whatever company he has on his board to help these guys get started with a brand deal. Meanwhile, Duke Dennis and DDG are arguing over who they want to fuck. And I have no doubt that the other people are happy that they were even just there, regardless of how many followers they left with. But how are they going to keep the attention of these people who watch them for the sole purpose of them being at that university? Like, most of these people went from virtually no viewers to all of a sudden thousands, and now have to somehow keep those thousands entertained without the help of the people who got them there. And mind you, these people couldn't even get to where they were unless they went to this university that taught them all of nothing. And I've shown you that some of these would rather post makeup videos and gym exercises than even let people know they have a Twitch, but now all of a sudden they're dead set on streaming. I'm coming back to this in like half a year to prove to you that the Streamer University did little to nothing to help these up and coming streamers. Yes, it's cool, they got thousands of followers overnight, but keeping them is the hard part. Again, like I said in the beginning though, this is an awesome idea, but when you see the videos of people like Rakai fighting people, even getting expelled, it's like, how is that helping anyone? They could have done this at home. Like, these people who gained what they did don't even realize that they could have gained 10 times the amount had these retards not taking the attention away from everyone. Like, no matter what you were doing, unless you were getting naked, people were like, no way, they're going to fight. Meanwhile, you're in class watching Cooking with Kaya twerk and you're like, I'm sorry, Chad, but Kai only comes when he feels bad for you. So you're going to have to watch this. Matter of fact, actually start calling me the N-word with the hard R real quick. He'll probably come. Like, here's a list of the most watched streamers at this university. None of these people have less than 3 million followers. Like, what the fuck do you mean Kai Cenat was one of the most watched streamers? That's like during your graduation, they give the principal an award for how good of a student he was. Like, this reply says it best. That's such a slap in the face to streamers and creators who don't have that much audience. This is a list of people who should have not been at the uni. Waste of space. Now, technically some of these people were professors, which is actually worse. How were none of the actual students some of the top streamers on Twitch for these 3 days that you had this going on? Like, okay, maybe not Twitch, but at least on the Streamer University tab. But even if you clicked on that, the popular streamers were always at the top, when it should have been the other way around. But yeah, guys, I guess you can say that this helped people, and the people who gained a following are going to be grateful, but like I said, they don't realize that they could have gone double, even triple following they had Kai not invited already popular streamers. What's actually hilarious is that this streamer got invited to the university after Kai saw that he had 0 people watching his stream, and even though Kai Cenat was his only viewer talking to him, he ignored the chat and missed the invite.
Look at this, y'all. Look, verified, y'all. I'm not lying. Verified, Kai Cenat. I'm your only viewer. Hello, what's up? I'm in your chat. I'm your only viewer. Do you see? My shit was not loading at first.
I invited a person to Streamer University yesterday while he was streaming. I was the only viewer in his chat. He was not paying attention to it. And he never seen it.
Now, I saw some people saying that Kai should have gotten his attention by sending a donation, and it's like, dog, how does being your only viewer not get your attention? His claim that his chat wasn't loading, but unless he has the slowest internet in the fucking world, I'm sure you were just ignoring the chat because nobody was even watching your stream, which shows that your heart isn't in it, dog. You weren't dedicated. You weren't dedicated to the craft like everyone else who went there. Until tomorrow, though. Peace.